Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Casper Network, aka Casper the Friendly Ghost, but we're going to be covering a specific topic, and that is, could $1,000 invested into Casper change your life? First off, I think that anyone that is looking at any valuations on any cryptocurrency, you really got to question yourself on what is life changing wealth to you. Is it the money owed on your mortgage? Is it buying your dream car? What is the scenario that you would deem life changing wealth? In my opinion, when we talk about life changing wealth, it's creating an opportunity to focus on bigger things in your life. What do I mean by that? Well, whenever I look at life changing wealth, it's more so time. How much time could the wealth that I'm making really kind of give me? Because time is money, essentially. I always look at it like, okay, well, if I invest today and my asset goes to X amount of dollars, will I be able to focus on building a side business? Will I be able to focus on building a side hustle that will ultimately generate me more money? Because that's at the end of the day what life-changing wealth is having passive income where you could live sustainably doing the bare minimum while focusing on other obstacles that you want to focus on. It's the freedom. It really is freedom. So time to me is the big obstacle here. And when we look at $1,000 invested into Casper, it would get you 35,344 Casper at the time that I am recording this video. Now, when we look at the price evaluations for Casper, first off, we really kind of go back to the cryptocurrency snapshots. So let's go to the historical snapshots of the coin market cap list, and let's just go back to the all-time highs for most of this market. Now remember, altcoins really kind of peaked back in April of 2021, so that is when I am going to go to. So we'll go back to April 25th. So as you guys do see, and like again, it's a little bit different for some, because if we go back to like, we'll go to May 2nd. Some of these altcoins had like a 70 plus billion dollar market cap. Here's $101 billion in market cap for BNB, $86 billion for BNB, but then ADA started to peak a little bit back up, and then ADA, started to drop back down at the end of May. All of these tokens do different runs at different times. You got to remember that money is really kind of trickling down the food chain here within crypto, and it always kind of works out that way. I think at one point in time, Dogecoin had the highest market cap and things like that within the altcoin market, but usually it's within 50 to $100 billion in market cap. Not all tokens hit a $100 billion market cap. I don't know when ADA peaked fully. I know that at some point in time ADA did hit like $3 on some exchanges, but nonetheless, when we look at tokens, it's anywhere between 50 to $100 billion. Now, if Casper is capable of hitting a $50 billion market cap, which, like I said, it all depends on really, what happens at that time, the demand behind these tokens, what they are doing, the news, all that kind of stuff. So, these prices aren't guaranteed to hit. I'm just trying to utilize them as an example point on if, $1,000 could be life-changing. And when we look at, this market cap of $50 billion on Casper, well, ultimately you get about a $4.75 Casper, which 35,000 Casper at $4.75 would be roughly $166,000. Now, I would tell you right now, I would not just hold on to an asset until a price is realized in. I would always take profit on the way up and really de-risk myself fully, meaning, say for so if we hit, I don't know, 50 cents, right? At 50 cents, I would most likely take my $1,000 out, which would be 5,000 Casper. So you'd ultimately be left with 30,000 Casper. You got to remember that you do also have to pay taxes on anything that you are, selling, or even maybe you're converting it to another token. So it's all taxable within that area. So you got to also account for taxes. And also, When you look at the $100 billion market cap area, this would be about a $9.51 Casper. Now, say for so you still are holding on to the full 35,000 Casper at $9.51. This would be about $332,000. Again, is that life changing to you? Some people will say life changing wealth is $10,000, $50,000, $100,000. It's ultimately up to you, but in my opinion, if we do get to a $100 billion market cap and ultimately $1,000 nets you $332,000, I would say that that is one a massive opportunity, but also an incredible trade, because that's a profit point of $331,000 on $1,000. Now, is a $100 billion market cap worth, for Casper? It's unknown. Again, we don't know where Casper can go. I think that first off, we should start with the bare minimum, which would be about a $1 billion market cap at 9.5 cents, and then from there we would add to let's target 10 billion, and then from there we can kind of target minimums within 10 to $100 billion in market cap. But a lot of tokens, like I said, have done incredible runs. Dogecoin, just to give you guys a quick insight, like Dogecoin did hit 73 cents during its peak in the bull run, which was $100 billion in market cap. ADA, I don't know what ADA's market cap was fully, but I know that it was somewhere within the $100 billion area. All of these tokens, it's hard to compare and contrast because, again, no altcoin is going to run identically to the other one and really kind of repeat the same run. I know that a lot of people try to do this and say, like, hey, well, it definitely will because, hey, this token did this, and that means that this token will. It's very unlikely to focus on that. Okay, this is Dogecoin. I was confused. I was like, the market cap would have been 430 billion. Like, that's crazy. But no. So $3.10 is the all-time high that CMC is showing. Again, CMC could be a little bit inaccurate, but Casper at that market cap would actually be worth over $10. It would be worth $10.33. Again, if we did hit that, then it would be like about $361,000. You would net 360K. So yeah. It's pretty crazy, nonetheless, to look at some of these valuations and think that it could happen. It's not guaranteed to happen, like I said. But when we look at Casper and when we look at what is happening around the ecosystem and what the Casper team is focused on, this could be a reality. It all depends, though, on how much money is really kind of trickling down the food chain within this market, because everything is different every single time. I mean, you could really kind of look back on historical snapshots, and you could kind of see. We'll just kind of run off of 2017, 2018. So, for an example, 2017-2018's topping point, it was roughly like, I mean, some tokens topped in 2020 or 2017, sorry, and then some topped in 2018 June. For an example, during this time, XRP was the number one token, hitting an $89.1 billion market cap. And then all of a sudden next week, it was at $130 billion in market cap. Ethereum was sitting at $111 billion in market cap. And then this run, XRP was an underperformer. You could argue that it was the SEC lawsuit, but Ethereum hit like a $500 billion market cap. But then Bitcoin Cash, which was number 4 here, was trading at almost $2,800. It barely even peaked over, I think it was like, I think it hit like 1,800, I'm pretty sure. So let me just make sure that I have that statistic in my mind real quick. So yeah, you can see how some of these tokens kind of underperform. And also, some of them never even hit a new all-time high. And I'm not saying Casper won't do that. I'm just saying, sometimes, things in terms of what you expect in this market versus what actually happens, it's night and day. I would argue that $1,000, it could change your life. But if you could afford to invest more, again, always invest what you can afford to lose, because again, this market is extremely uncertain. You never know what could happen. Then I think that more invested in would definitely be more sustainable, because again, my targets on Casper are like anywhere between $2 to $4. I would personally love $3. $3 to me would be life-changing. I think that this would be a huge opportunity, and this would be about a $31.6 billion market cap, so it's not too crazy to me. And when we go back to Casper on this list, let me just go back real quick. So let me go and 1 second, it's kind of being annoying. Let me just look it up over here. So when we go back over here to Casper and we scroll down, say for so you could afford to, lose $5,000, which I know is not small change. 5,000 would get you 176. I'm just going to round it to 176. So 176,000 Casper. And again, at $3, that's $528,000. That is $500,000 after taxes, depending on if you're married or whatever, and maybe you don't even pay taxes in your area that you live in. I'm just going to estimate it to, we'll just say 35% in taxes. I know it's crazy, but we'll just say like $185,000 in taxes. You're going to net $343,000 on $5,000, depending on if you didn't take profits until $3. Like I always say, always make sure that you de-risk yourself, because you never know what could happen in this market. Profits are profits, and you 100% should realize them in. But $185,000. After the taxes, you still have $343,000. In my opinion, $343,000, depending on if you are living beyond your means or not, is pretty significant, and that could definitely hold you over for a while. And if you do reinvest a nice chunk of that during the bear market, then guess what? In the next major cycle, if you hit like a 50x or a 100x, or maybe even hit like a 25x, which is pretty sustainable, then that could be very significant, especially if you are, like I said, an average individual living an average life. You're not trying to, show off that you have money or whatever, which I highly suggest that you should never do that. Then you could definitely live very, very comfortably with that amount of wealth. I mean, I think a 25x, $2.5 million. Again, you have to get hit with that tax bracket, because I think that would be a much higher tax bracket. I don't know what the taxes on that would be. I think it would be, if you're filing single and stuff like that, maybe like 40%. It might even be more, but nonetheless, you'll still over $1 million will be realized for your profit point after taxes. So that's still very, very life-changing. So with that being said, do I think that $1,000 into Casper could change your life? Ultimately, I do think that it will be a yes, depending on how long you hold and depending on how the market does hold up. Again, nothing is guaranteed, but like I said, always, like, if you could afford to invest more at the lows and DCA in, then I think that would be the best opportunity. But like I said, it's all up to you. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. This is what I believe could happen with Casper. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. With you guys on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.